dot goes away, then we know we gotta just switch on the battery.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Welcome back to another episode of Charlotte Comedians Getting Coffee in Charlotte. All right. Today we are at Queen City Grounds in beautiful Uptown Charlotte, and my guest today is Randall Moore. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm glad to be here.
So excited
Thanks
to have
for having me.
Of course, of course. So what are you drinking?
An iced latte.
Nice,
with
nice.
caramel and whole milk.
Wonderful. How is it?
It's delicious.
Heck
It's
yes.
amazing.
Heck yes.
Queen
Iced
City
coffee.
Grounds for the win.
Queen City Grounds, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to be here at Queen City Grounds because they've been so supportive of our comedy scene, so it felt like an amazing space to kind of hang out at. In the past, Queen City Grounds has hosted an open mic. They've also been a spot where we've done improv comedy shows, so they've always been really wonderful to our community. So make sure to follow them and make sure to stop by their shop. So, Randall, to get us started, I kind of wanted to just ask you a little bit about yourself and how you got started doing comedy. How long have you been doing stand-up?
I've been doing stand-up for about 4 years now. And I actually, I wanted to start stand-up about 15 years ago when I was 22, I was fresh out of college, but I couldn't wrap my mind around being at home with my parents broke and doing stand-up comedy, so it was I kind of put it on the back burner. And then after life kind of settled down, I got married, I had a few kids. I don't know, I had this itch to do other things because I've always been a musician, all through middle school, high school, and college. So I always miss performing in front of people, and I've always loved stand-up comedy. So when I found out that open mics are a thing for just the general public, anybody could go up and do an open mic, it's okay, I want to give it a shot. Fell in love and have been doing it ever since.
Yeah. So, musician, what did you play?
The drums.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Nice.
in drumline in high school and through college.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. I kind of feel I hear about a lot of comedians who have performing background, either musicians or theater kids, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is kind of that through line of, musicians or artists to comedians?
Probably how much we know performances are important. So preparation, we're always practicing and preparing before any kind of big moment, and then making sure we execute it. Well, that's how I think as a musician. Yeah. I'm always writing. I'm always practicing my stand up before I get on stage. Even for an open mic, I always want to make sure I'm as prepared as possible. I think that's something that just sticks in your DNA if you're that artistic pathway. You just keep it going.
Yeah, definitely. When it comes to when you got started doing stand-up, did you just go to a mic? That was your first, or did you take a class? Or
No,
okay.
I didn't take a class. I just went for it.
Nice.
I was,
Yeah.
Because it's funny because, I absolutely hate public speaking. I get, physically ill when I have to, give presentations. Yeah, it's just weird. It's why do you do stand-up?
I know.
But I don't know. I don't know. I think I saw some really bad stand-up on Instagram. I was oh, these people do it. It's and they're not great at it.
They're just pooping on stage.
And it doesn't matter. The world doesn't end when you do. It's I'll give it a shot. And so yeah.
No, it's funny actually because I also have a fear of public speaking, but I also do stand-up and improv. But it is a totally different kind of public speaking. It's a totally different kind of audience, and it's a totally different kind of stage even. Yeah. So I can totally understand.
Yeah, if I have to get up and say facts to people, it's that's a nightmare. But
there's
if I can,
repercussions if you're wrong.
Yeah, but if I can get up there and just tell jokes and people laugh, if I get that response, then it's oh, I'm not nervous anymore. I can do this all day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Can you tell me about your first open mic experience? Where was it? Ooh. What were you wearing? How were you feeling?
It was in Gastonia. I can't remember the name of the bar. It wasn't called Monstercade. It was some kind of arcade / bar. In February, I mean, it was a little chilly out. Maybe a hoodie and jeans. I don't know. It went pretty well though.
Oh, okay.
It was a decent sized crowd for an open mic on a random Saturday, and I got big laughs, and everyone told me how good I did. And it's just that kind of high of doing it the first time. It's all right, I like this. I have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And then probably the second or third mic is oh, this, this is kind of hard.
Yeah.
This is every mic's not like that.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
That's actually interesting. You're one of the first people I've met whose first open mic experience wasn't nightmare fuel. Yours was like, nah, not bad.
Yeah, no, it was like really good. I thought it was like every mic was going to be like that
Right.
afterwards, and then it like wasn't. It's like, okay, it's
Yeah.
like there's going to be growing pains, but
Yes.
yeah.
Now, do you remember your first set you wrote and your first kind of jokes?
The bit that did really well is one that I still kind of do sometimes about like, I had like the setup like, I'm coming, guys, I just came out this year and I came out as lazy. It's like a big setup. Like I just talk about being lazy and being lazy in a job interview and things like that. Like that did really well. Then the other stuff I don't remember. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
Like not good enough to keep doing. Like
Right.
I think I did it a couple of times after that, and then I probably dropped those jokes.
Yeah. That brings me to my next question. I'm always curious to know everybody's writing process, because everybody's writing process is different. So it sounds like you'll bring material to a mic, you take what works, you kind of discard the rest, or you'll workshop things that you're like, maybe that had a laugh or not. Do you have a writing process or a daily practice, or how do you approach it?
Yeah, so I try to write every day for at least 30 minutes. I've been doing that for a few years. And it helps me a lot because I don't get a lot of stage time as other comics, because I have 3 small kids at home, so it's like it's difficult to go out every night to do comedy, because then like my wife has to put everybody to bed, and that's like not great for our marriage. So so when I go out, like I want to be like prepared and go through the jokes. So like during the 30 minutes I write every day, I'll like if I have a show coming up, I'll work on a set list, and then I have a different spot in my notes section where I work on like brand new jokes. Like I just sit there and I'll try to brainstorm jokes. Then I have a section of like jokes that I've done in the past that I'm kind of like tweaking and working on. And then I have a section that I just call like stream of consciousness, where it's just like I'm just like typing into my phone just like random sentences or whatever pops into my mind, and sometimes I'll use that as a jumping point. It'll trigger something, and I'll think of something funny, and then that can like work into a bit or a joke. But it's like I can't remember who it was, either like Seinfeld or like Gary Goldman's like creativity is a muscle, so like you have to like work it out all the time. Like there's always like material, you just have to like fish for it. So if I'm like writing all the time, I feel like I'm actively like trying to find better jokes, tweak the older jokes.
Yeah.
Just getting better every day.
Do you prefer writing on paper, or do you prefer do you write digitally more or analog?
I definitely write digitally on my phone way more. I do have a notebook that I'll jot things in every now and then. So like that's a trick. Like if you have like a joke that you've kind of been working on for a while, like write it in a different medium. So if like you're on your phone, like write it out on paper, and then like different things will come to you as you're like writing it from memory.
Yeah.
Because I lose things all the time.
Me
like
too.
I'm not. Yeah.
I have
like
1,000 notebooks.
I have thousands of
Yes.
notebooks just all over,
And there's bits and bobs in all of them. I don't remember where they are.
yeah, I can't keep. Yeah, the phone is the only way I can like keep things safe. And
Yeah.
secure.
I agree. Yes, that's interesting. Sometimes I've even gotten into a habit when I'm driving. If there's an idea I have, I kind of am like, Siri, start a voice memo, and then I'm like, this. But then sometimes it's kind of like a dream journal, like, you know, when you wake up and you write down whatever you were saying. But then when you look back at it when you're awake, you're like, that's dumb. You know?
It doesn't make any sense.
When I stop driving, I'm like, oh, that was dumb.
Yeah, I've gotten up out of my sleep to like jot something down that I thought was funny, because if you don't, like you'll lose it and you'll never be able to like think of it again.
Yeah.
So like anytime you get like a fleeting thought, I always have to like jot it down.
That's a
if
good-
it's on like a napkin or like, you know, jot it down on your phone real quick.
That's smart. I should be better about that. Like a lot of my girlfriends, we all took our class together, the stand-up comedy class for women, and so we've gotten in a habit with each other where like if we're just, you know, shooting the shit and somebody says something funny, we'll be like, write that down. And if we don't watch them write it down, we'll text each other like, I told you to write this down.
Yeah, every bit matters.
You know,
so,
yes,
yeah.
absolutely. You're a dad of a bunch of littles, and you're also a working dad, and you're also a comedy dad. So I'm always curious to know what everybody's work-life balance kind of practice is, or what your approach is to work-life balance.
Just by the seat of my pants. I mean, just like make it happen. Like I work 40 hours a day. Like I usually
40 hours a
40
day.
hours a week, 40 hours a day. That's crazy.
I was like, there's only 24, Beyonce.
Yeah,
what
that's
are we doing?
that's how hard I'm going. I'm putting in 40
I'm
hours.
making new hours.
I'm making new hours. To just find time. Like usually it'll be like either I'll write on my lunch break, or wait till the end of the night when all the kids are asleep and it's like quiet in the house, and I'll find time to write then. Just whenever, and just Yeah, we have like a Google Calendar with the family, so it's like
Smart.
managing like, oh, my daughter's got soccer practice, and then a game, and then it's like, oh, but I've got a show here, and then I want to do an open mic here. So it's
Yeah.
like always like a balancing act.
Definitely.
And it's just gonna get, the older they get, like the more busy we're gonna
Yeah.
get. So it's just
Yeah.
flying by the seat of our pants kind of always.
Definitely. Yeah, me and Joey, we also have a Google Calendar, and so I've had to start scheduling things like date night. Like last
Yeah.
night, I was like,
Yeah.
we're watching Mortal Kombat. It's in the calendar. It's happening.
Yeah,
You know?
that was really hard when I first started doing comedy, because like on your weekends it's like, oh, I just want to do comedy, and then your partner, your wife, is like, well, when are we gonna have fun time to go on dates? And it's like, so you have to like pick like
Yeah.
comedy this weekend, dates that weekend. It's
Yeah.
like,
And it's hard because, you know, for a while doing the stand-up and the improv and work and all the things myself too, I felt like I only saw the back of my husband's head when he was asleep. Like I just never saw him.
yeah, that's not a good way to live.
Yeah,
Like that's
and
not
it's
good for your
hard.
relationship.
Yeah, definitely. But how would you say your wife feels about you doing stand-up? Is she supportive? Does she help you write some stuff sometimes? Does she go to your shows?
Yeah, she's super supportive. Every once in a while she'll come up with like a bit, and I'll be like, okay, maybe I'll try that out.
Yeah.
Normally I use her as like a test subject for like a lot of my punchlines. It's like, if she doesn't like it, like if she makes a face, I'm like, okay, then I'll probably go with that.
Yeah.
Like if it
Yeah.
upsets her, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that's a good.
I agree. Yeah, Joey's definitely my sounding board too. It definitely helps, especially having a partner close by when you're like, let me run this by you, because they know you so well. And so like they'll be able to kind of go like, I think I know what you're trying to say. What if you say it like this, you know? So
Yeah.
that is helpful. I don't know what I'd do without a supportive partner.
No,
dude.
she's great.
That's awesome.
She's very supportive. She tries to take on as much at the house as she can. If like I'm out of town doing shows or whatever, like
Yeah.
super helpful.
You've been doing a lot of festivals and going through like the festival circuit and things, right? Can you
Yep.
talk me through maybe the application process and what it's like once you're actually at a festival?
Yeah, so I will say not all festivals are the same. Like sometimes they're like put on by comedy clubs, like outside of the state, but then sometimes it's just like a random person that's putting together a festival at like a couple of breweries in their like hometown. Usually applications probably always the same. Like you have to send in like a 3 to 5 minute tape, headshots, bio, usually like a $20 to $40 like fee to get in, or like to submit your application. But I think it's worth it. I know a lot of people kind of talk down on festivals, like they're just, because they'll apply to a bunch of them and they'll never get in. But sometimes like there'll be 300 people applying to a festival for 30 spots. So it's like your odds of getting in are like very slim. And I've definitely gotten rejected from more festivals than I've gotten into, which I think is just like, that's just the way it is, like the nature of the beast. But there's a ton of benefits. Like if it's with a club, like there's a good opportunity, like the club booker is going to see you, and if you do well, like they want to have you back.
Right.
Like I've gone to like Texas and Vermont and Tennessee, and like I've done like really well there, and every time they're like, yeah, we got to have you back, like let us know when you're back in the area. So it's like, it's always good for like networking, because I'm like a socially awkward person. Like I would never just come up to someone and be like, hey, can I feature on your show at this club? Like I would never do that.
Yeah.
Like it's always someone coming up to me and being like, hey, I saw you at so-and-so, you were great. Would you come back? And I was like, I'd love to.
Right.
So that's been the biggest bonus, is just meeting those networking opportunities, meeting people that are like, hey, if you're ever in New York, hit me up, we'll have put on this show. It's like, all right, awesome.
Yeah.
Those are always big. A lot of times festivals come with like free headshots. You usually get like a free copy of your tape. So like that's super important if you're applying to other festivals. Like I said, like you could have like 300 people applying to a festival. Like that tape that you send in's got to be like
Pristine.
it's got to be perfect, like a perfect 5-minute tape. It's like, which is really hard to do. Like like Ian Aver says, it's like catching like lightning in a bottle. Like, so if you can like go there and crush it, and you get a copy of your tape that you can send out to other festivals, like that's always a bonus.
Definitely.
And free swag. You get like shirts and sunglasses
Yeah.
and koozies
And there's a way to romanticize it too, because you can kind of like make it a little trip with the family, right?
like
you know?
especially if it's somewhere you want to go,
Right.
like Houston or New
Or like
York
Orlando or New York or
Orlando,
whatever. Yeah.
LA. They have them. Yeah, there's festivals
Everywhere.
all over.
Yeah. Is there a festival in particular you've been really wanting to go to?
Yeah, the one in Atlanta, the West End Festival, is it's pretty popular. I've applied like the past 3 or 4 years and haven't gotten in.
Really?
So, because the other thing that's really neat about festivals is you'll meet comics that have been doing it for like 16 or 15 years, and like you've never heard of them. Like
Yeah.
they're not famous. They don't have Netflix specials, but they're hilarious. They're like
Yeah.
amazing comics that like. I don't know. Every time I go there, like every time I go to a festival, I'm always blown away with like the talent I see. Because like, in like the little bubble of Charlotte, it's like okay, like I'm a pretty decent comic. But then you go like out in the world and you see how good like everyone else is.
Yeah.
Like oh, it's just like
Yeah.
I've got like a lot to learn. Like it's
Yeah.
always like I don't know, inspiring.
Comedy in general kind of feels like a little bit of a great equalizer to me sometimes. Like, if you go to these festivals and you meet people that have been doing it for a long time, or maybe people who have just started, you know, they all are practicing the same way we're practicing. They're going to mics. They're writing the
Yeah.
same way we are. And you know, it's nice to hear and know that like people who do have Netflix specials, like, well, they probably went to an open mic for the very first time one time, and maybe it didn't
Yeah.
go great, or maybe it did.
Yeah.
You know,
I think we get blindsided. Like we watch a lot of like Netflix specials, HBO specials, and we think that like, oh, that's the only way that comedy exists.
right.
That's like if you're playing basketball, like, oh, I like basketball, but you only watch the NBA, you
Yeah.
think that it's not accessible to you, but in fact, it's like,
Right.
yeah, it's very accessible. You just
Yeah.
have to like go find the community.
Yeah, and
be a
I
part
think
of it.
success is also so subjective too. You know, like some people are, you know, some people are doing comedy because they want to get over their fear of like speaking in public, or you know, they want to meet people, or some people are doing it because they just want to get better for themselves. Some people want a Netflix special, and it all varies, and it all varies on how they get started, or what their approach is. So I kind of want to ask, what would you say is like your goal for 2026? Like, is there something in particular you're working on, like a length of a set, or like,
Just
you know what I mean?
just adding more time to
Yeah.
a set, getting better, just
Yeah.
being really good at stand-up comedy at this point.
Yeah.
Because like, my life's already like super busy. Like I'm working 40 hours a day. I've got 3 kids, like trying to manage a household, and it's just like I have this thing that I love. It like brings me joy in my life. Like I don't know. I just kind of want to keep getting better at it at this point.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Random question. Do you invite your coworkers and stuff to your shows?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
I've been thinking about how to blend my two lives, you know? I feel like I'm living a Hannah Montana life, you know?
Yeah, I kind of like to keep it separate. I have family members that are always like, "Oh, let us know when you have your show," and I'm always like, oh, "Okay." Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I don't know. Like you probably have a different version of who I am.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's
yeah,
just,
you're like, I'm not a sweet little
that makes-
cherub.
yeah,
I'm a
the
comedian.
Like the first time my sister saw me do stand up, it was like it went awful
Oh.
because I was just so anxious and nervous that she was like in the crowd, like
Right.
watching me tell these weird jokes
Yeah.
that I wasn't myself on stage. I was like
Yeah.
rushing through stuff.
I
and it
hate
was just,
that.
Like it wasn't great. So
Yeah.
I mean, and again, that goes along with like public speaking. Like I can speak in front of strangers, but
Right.
people that like I've known for years is like really
Right.
hard.
So I kind of want to also ask a little bit about the Charlotte comedy community, because I do see you out at the mics every week, and I do see you getting put on a lot of shows as well. Like you are booked and busy. What would you say are maybe some of the really cool things about the Charlotte comedy community, or things that we do really well, or you know?
I think a lot of the veteran comics that have been around for a minute and are really good about like just being supportive of like the new people that come up. Like I can't tell you how many times like Jason, like when I first started out doing it, Jason Allen King or like Chris Mons or like Don Garrett would come up to me like, "Man, that was great. Like what you're doing is like so fun." Like that's like huge. That's like
Yeah.
that keeps you going, because a lot of times you'll do a set and like nobody will say anything to you, no one will give you feedback, and it's just like, what am I even doing out here? But then like you get like people that have been doing it for a minute that are like really like positive and like I don't know, encouraging, and like book
Yeah.
you on shows. It's like, okay, like this is
Yeah.
something I should keep pursuing it.
I agree.
And that's not everything. Like that's not like the main reason to do comedy is for like the admiration or whatever, but like it helps. Like
it does.
yeah.
Is there anybody in the Charlotte community in particular that you've been seeing, you know, kind of really working harder, is doing really cool stuff, or just someone you kind of want to give their flowers to?
Oh man, I think there's a couple people. Can I shout out a couple
sure.
people?
Yeah.
I think Nathan Baker is hilarious. That guy, the energy he brings on stage, hilarious. And on top of that, his girlfriend Mira, like, she cracks me up just on sight. She didn't even have to say anything.
They're a power couple. What's that about?
Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm blown away by like the energy they put out on stage. How they just like I'm a joke writer. Like, I don't really do much crowd work or like improv on stage. So it's like I'm always impressed when people can go up there and just kind of wing it a little bit, and it's just like hilarious.
Yeah.
Those people always make me laugh. My good buddy Matt Christopher, super funny, super talented comic.
And producer.
And producer.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even have like a social media. Like, he just does it just because he likes to do comedy. Like, he's not on Instagram, he's not on Facebook. Like,
he's a ghost.
Yeah, he's a good. Like, I try to hype him up to other producers and stuff, and people.
They're like, who?
Who? Yeah, exactly, because they don't know who he is because he
Yeah.
doesn't have Instagram. But super funny dude. I'm trying to think. I'm blanking on who all the funny comics.
We got lots.
Nicole, super funny comic. Yes.
You stamp right now. You silly goose. But on that note about crowd work, I get really nervous about crowd work myself. So I'm glad to know I'm not the only one that's like, I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, because I rarely go up on mics, so it's like I want to get the jokes out that I've written. So usually the only time I'll really kind of do a little bit more crowd work is if I'm like hosting a show and I'm trying to get the crowd a little looser.
Yeah.
Or if it's a really small crowd, sometimes it can feel like you're like alienating the room if you're just focused on doing your jokes.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Definitely.
Like, if there's like 7 people in the crowd and you're just doing like a monologue of 10 minutes worth of jokes, it can feel a little weird. Like, it's got to be kind of like that back and forth.
Definitely.
Yeah, so those are the only times. I'm not like a huge crowd work guy.
Yeah. As much as improv as I have done, you would think that I'd be like, this is fun. But there's something about crowd work that I think that there's a strategy to it. Like, Loic has told me like some way that he sort of thinks about it, where it's like he knows he's going to ask this. If they say this, he's going to say that. If they say this, you know, like he almost does a little like decision tree. And I would love to think that way. Yeah. I don't. I just kind of panic and I go like, well, that's my time. Bye. So.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Sometimes you can like do a callback to something another comedian said like earlier in a set. That'll usually like get a big laugh.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Usually I try to avoid it because I don't want to waste everyone's time. Yeah. Like, you came here to see a show and I'm just up here just like gargling at the mouth, babbling at the mouth, and it's just like, I came to laugh, not to watch this guy fluff around all the time.
Yeah, so. True, very true. But thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Time.
It's been a lot of fun.
It's been really
great.
Yeah, look at us.
And I got a free coffee.
Free coffee.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it.
You guys validate parking?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Otherwise, we have your car now. So.
Okay.
Well, thank you again for hanging out with me.
Thanks for having me.
I've had so much fun.
This is a lot of fun.
Yeah. So make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to follow Randall Moore. Make sure to go to Queen City Grounds, and we will see you next week.